What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 4 of Behind the Paw. This will be the final episode of season 1. Today, our topic we'll be talking about second screening, and what I mean by second screening is just watching two forms of media at once on two different screens, or it could be in the same screen, like a split screen, but just kind of taking in two different types of media, whether that's sports or video games or movies or anything really on a screen. Uh, but yeah, to start us off, uh, what type of media do you guys receive? Uh, wait, sorry. What type of media do you guys receive information, and what type of media do you go to for like the social part of sports media? And like, do you guys ever second screen while doing that?
I would say probably like Instagram and I guess TikTok sometimes with sports if it pops up. But I would say mostly Instagram, just following like the sports accounts and seeing that pop up. I wouldn't say I second screen on that because like I feel like I can't really go on to other apps through that unless I'm watching TV, but I feel like I try and be good about when I'm watching a show, just watching it, even though I sometimes second screen with that. But I would say like for highlights and stuff, I just go to YouTube, but I don't second screen with YouTube either.
Yeah, I I go primarily Twitter and Instagram, or I guess X and Instagram. Those are like the two forms of social media that I'll use. Um, and then second screening, the only time I'm really second screening with those apps is if like I'm watching Sports Center or like a sporting event is like on the TV. And then I'm like looking at the app and like checking scores and highlights or whatnot of other games.
Okay, cool. Me personally, I do second screen mainly if I'm like watching YouTube or watching a movie or a show. I'm just on my phone, maybe playing a game or I don't know, looking at something on Instagram or any kind of social media. But a lot of times I'll have YouTube on my phone and then I'm playing video games on the TV, uh, which I tend to do that sometimes because um, I watch YouTube a lot and I play video games a lot. But other than that, I don't think I second screen. I kind of don't. I like the idea of like if I go to a restaurant and like there's multiple TVs for like multiple for different games that people want to watch because sometimes like I don't want to watch a certain game. If that was the only screen out there, that'd be kind of lame. But like sometimes I can like look over and see, oh, this is the game I want to watch. But sometimes I know certain restaurants have them like kind of spread out, and it kind of sucks when I'm like facing one direction and I kind of want to like turn back behind me and watch a game. It's a little awkward when you're at a dinner table, but yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying with the restaurants thing, because sometimes even at walk-ons here, like they have so many different things going on up on the screens. Like
Hmm.
I remember the other day they had like home funniest videos playing like on one screen and then
They always
across
have
was like
that.
basketball. I don't even know. But
Yeah.
I feel like for me sometimes it's helpful because like you go with a group of friends and some people want to watch, I don't know, the basketball football game that's on, and it's like me personally, like I'll watch it, but it's not the number one option maybe for dinner. So I think that's nice to have those options, but sometimes like if you really take it all in, I feel like there's way too much going on.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know. Do y'all ever, this is like not exactly what y'all are talking about, but I'll like have Netflix on and I'll be on my phone and I'll like find a movie. I'm like, I don't want to watch this movie. But then I get on my phone while the movie's like starting and realize like I don't have the time to watch. Like I just like turn the movie off. So like, nah, I'm not
Yeah,
in the mood for a full movie.
yeah, I know what you mean, bro. Sometimes I don't know. I tend to fall asleep when I'm watching a movie by myself. Uh, but I know I get what you're saying. Like you just play a movie on TV and then you're on your phone and you don't even realize.
Yeah, I like
Um,
forget exactly what was going on. And I'm like, well, I might as
yeah.
well just turn it off at this point.
hmm Another example that I just thought about, when I'm watching YouTube on my phone, they have like this feature where uh, you can like get out of the app, but like it'll still be playing on this like small little screen while you're on your phone, and you can like go, like I can go on like social media while I'm watching YouTube or go on like the internet or whatever, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Um,
this weekend when the Masters was going on, I was like, I'd like my texts like from me and my buddies were like blowing up, and like it was using like the little side drop, like I like let it keep playing while I was texting them
yeah,
back, and then it would randomly like go away.
yeah. Sometimes it'll go away.
I had to finish my
Yeah.
text super quick and then get back on.
Yeah, it does that. Other than the sport you guys play, what is the first sport that you would consume media from? And do you find yourself ever watching like your favorite sport alongside one? Like for like does that make sense? Like do you ever find yourself watching your favorite sport and another sport together?
Yeah, I'll do like I don't like watching baseball, so I don't really ever watch it. And if I am, I'm just watching one game. But like football, like Sundays, I'm always watching two games, like strictly for fantasy purposes. But I'm watching as many as I can possibly get on because I'm checking 4 or 5 different players that I have playing at that time, and I'm
Mm,
consuming every second of it that I can.
that's lit.
Yeah, I would say like besides soccer, I guess at home more when we go to like group hangouts and stuff, they'd always have like a low key like hockey on a lot. Or even at times they'd have like the MMA fighting on. Uh
hmm
like I'd watch it. I mean that was kind of interesting, but other than that, like not that much.
That's fair. That's fair. So do y'all enjoy second screening? And like is it difficult to concentrate while you're watching different screens or are y'all like fine with it? Because I feel like it's in my opinion, I feel like it's kind of a skill to like multitask like that because I can't pay attention to multiple things like that. Like if I'm listening to two different things, I kind of like block out one thing that's coming to me and I just focus on one because it's kind of hard for me to like focus on two different things.
Yeah, I think there's a time and place for it. Like for me, it's like if it's Sunday and no one's like team is playing, like with a group of guys watching, like let's get as many games on as we can. Like there's really no reason to just solely focus on one game. But if Clemson's playing, when Clemson was playing, like in March Madness, nobody cared to watch any other games. Like it was strictly like the only
Mm,
time we're switching off of this game is when it's like halftime or a commercial. So I think for me, it's
hmm
like there's a time and place. And then, I mean, I guess you could say if I'm just not interested in what's going on, I'll get on my phone and that could be a second screening. But I don't know. I think it kind of depends on what's on and how much care I have for what's on.
That's fair.
Yeah, I agree. Like I remember one time like I think it was last year or something. We had a delay going on. We were away at Miami, and I just remember we had like six different of like NCAA games going on at the same time. And I feel like that's like time and place of like, oh, you're trying to see like who you might play coming up. But Other than that, I feel like sometimes I catch myself second screening and I kind of get frustrated with myself because I feel like I should just be able to focus on one thing at one time and like not be so stimulated. So I feel like what you said, like there's a time and place for it, but I feel like sometimes it is overstimulating and like can have a negative effect on like the length of focus.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Well, so, like, okay, do you guys ever find yourself looking up a player or looking up statistics while like watching a game? And I know Jay, you kind of said like, "Oh yeah, I'm on fantasy while I'm watching the game," which I get. But uh, like Danielle, for instance, like, do you ever like while you're watching soccer or something, or maybe another sport, do you ever like see a player that you never heard of and you want to like look them up, or you know, see the stats of a certain player that you might like? Because me personally, I find myself doing that with football sometimes. Like if let's say some running back that I've never seen before is playing really good. I'm like, oh, I've never heard of this guy. I wonder what school he went to, or I wonder what his stats were last year, or like where he came, stuff like that. That's kind of what I do. I was just asking if y'all personally do that.
Yeah, I do that too. I feel like what you said, if someone catches my eye or I see someone out there that I've never seen before, I definitely double screen to try and figure it out. And I feel like you definitely learn that way by doing that.
Yeah, I do it pretty much. I mean, I definitely do it every single game I watch. It'll just be watching really any sport, and people be like, "Oh, like he's been in the league for forever, like since we were kids. How long has he been in the league?" And then you like somebody searching it up, or some guys like having a really good game that you don't really know who he is, like 100% looking up his stats, like where he go to college, what's he averaging
Hmm.
this year. So coming up, we have teammate of mine, grad transfer Dominic Listi. Dom is in his 6 year of college baseball and is a very knowledgeable guy. So look forward to getting him on and letting y'all hear what he has to say. What's going on, guys? So here we have Dominic Listi. Dom is a teammate of mine, grad transfer here at Clemson. Dom, if you don't mind, just kind of telling us about your journey and how you ended up here for a second.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm from Crystal Lake, Illinois, which is in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, about 30 minutes outside the city itself. I went to a Division III school there initially out of high school. It's called North Central College in Naperville, Illinois. Spent time there for my undergraduate and decided I wanted to take a leap of faith going from Division III to Division I. Put my name in the portal, went through a very long and tedious process. No one really wanted me the first time around. Ended up being blessed enough with an opportunity to go to Indiana State last year. Did well enough on the field there to be able to then parlay that into an opportunity here at Clemson, which is where I am for my final year of college athletics.
Nice,
Nice.
nice. Um, so kind of getting to the topic that we are currently talking about, which is second screening. Um, just really, it is exactly what it sounds like. You're sitting down, you're watching maybe a whatever like a NBA game, and on the other screen, you got really anything, the news, another sporting event. Um, just you in general, is that something that you tend to do? Like if you're watching a sports game, do you like having multiple up, or are you just a one screen kind of guy?
I'm kind of a one screen type of guy for the most part, but I definitely have been a two screen person when it comes to the NFL. More specifically, I like to have multiple games up at lunch while there's a ton going on during the noon slate of football. But when I like to dive into one thing and kind of be more singularly focused on that thing itself outside of football.
Nice, nice. Okay. Dom, so my question is, do you when you're like hanging out with maybe friends or just anybody that you're close to, do you know anybody who tends to second screen, and do you kind of what do you kind of get from that? Like when the second screen, do you see that their attention span is a little bit lower, or they like into it? Maybe they're watching games on TV and they're betting on a game or something. I don't know. Like, do you know anybody who does that pretty
Yeah.
frequently?
Yeah, I mean, a ton of my buddies from my hometown. I think that's where I was initially introduced to it, honestly. Where now, when I feel like whenever I get together to watch a sporting event with people, specifically for that sporting event, there's usually multiple televisions at whatever uh, function that we're watching it at. So a lot of people will even have it built into the TV itself now, where you can have, like I know on YouTube TV, you can have four different games going on at once or something along that line, or I mean, man, like so many people just have multiple TVs in their basement now, right next to each other for that exact thing. And I do
Hmm.
notice that there's a lot of stimulation going on, whether that's people deciding to like go into sports betting and maybe be taking multiple games at once and kind of having all that stimulation, or it's just being ingrained into the sport itself, or even fantasy sports. I mean, fantasy football specifically, like I was kind of talking about football earlier. It's a very high stimulation thing for a couple hours there when you have who knows how many games going on and you're trying to keep track of it all. And it definitely is a short attention span thing. It's almost like you're a squirrel just looking all over the place.
Right.
You mentioned like your hometown friends do that a lot. Has there been an instance maybe where you guys are watching one game and you're getting really into it and you go and try and like talk to them about something and they're not even paying attention? Because I know that's happened to me and it definitely pisses me off here and there.
No, yeah, I mean, I totally can relate with that. I mean, I think playing a sport at a high level, you definitely appreciate the intricacies and the art amongst the sport a little deeper than other people will. And they'll kind of just look at it sheerly for maybe the score or something. So, like when you're getting really into a game, you want to talk to them about it, whatever it may be. And they're kind of just like, whatever, dude. Like, I'm just watching it for my fantasy football team. And you're just like, come on, man. Like, let's have a little bit more substance to this game.
Um, so Dom actually sits beside me on the bus for all those watching, and Dom constantly watches college baseball highlights, like 24/7, no matter where we're going. If it's a 20-minute ride, an hour and a half ride, like he's always watching college baseball highlights. So Dom, like when you get home, let's just say after a Friday night game, and there's two heavyweight like Texas, Tennessee, like whoever it might be that week playing each other. Are you watching on the TV and your phone as many college baseball games as possible live?
A good question. I mean, honestly, if there's a couple marquee matchups going on, I'm probably going to start double dipping there. Um, but if it's just one big game, I mean, I'd prefer to be just on that one. But you, if there is multiple things going on, it's kind of hard in the world of sports for me to refrain from double dipping into screens there.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Um, so obviously we're all athletes here. We all watch film. Do you catch yourself second screening whenever you're like watching film? Do you think that helps or kind of is it a distraction or anything? If you do,
Yeah, I think for baseball it's a little different because we don't really have to watch a ton of film. So like when I am watching it, it's very intentional. So I don't really second screen when I'm doing that because it's just watching a few clips of the starting pitcher and looking for very specific things and then take what I need from it, a couple minutes and I'm done. Or it's like specifically watching my swing. However, I could imagine how if I was playing football and I had to watch a ton of reps, I could catch myself just getting distracted. And I mean, who knows? I mean, there's so much to watch there. I mean, you have to watch
for
a
sure.
million clips. So I bet that that's a lot tougher. However, for me, I don't really catch myself doing that because it's a very light workload in regard to film that I have to watch.
Fair enough. Okay.
Do you think that you could see it negatively impacting athletes in future generations? Because, like, for me, sometimes I watch film and, like, our games are like 90 minutes, and I sometimes catch myself going on my phone and I'm like, shit, I gotta rewind it. I missed everything that just happened. So, do you think that for future generations, like it could be an issue?
I mean, I think it's an issue right now. So to answer your question, I think it's going to be an even bigger issue in the future. I mean, I'm older than a lot of my teammates, so I feel like I have like a more old head view in the locker room of things, but I already see it all the time amongst people where it's just you can't even talk to someone or you can't even get too deep into something without us all having this like innate timer in our head that's like, okay, look at your phone now, you're bored. So I definitely think it's a problem. It's hard. I mean, it's just become so second nature for us just as humans, and then for athletes that are trying to become successful at anything at a very high level, or anyone as a matter of fact, but specifically athletes. It's like if you really want to achieve a high level of greatness, I believe you kind of have to be different, and you have to become obsessed. And in order to become obsessed, you kind of have to limit distractions to some degree. So I do think it's going to be a problem for these younger generations that might not understand the magnitude or the workload of what's at hand and kind of get lost in their own distractions along the way.
I knew you were gonna have an answer for that.
Mhm.
uh, um, hypothetical question here. You can't second screen. You're only getting to watch one game. And in case y'all don't, well, people don't know, but Dom's the biggest Chicago fan ever. Um, so you got the Bears in the Super Bowl, Cubs in the World Series, and the Bulls in the NBA Finals all at the same time on the same day. One game. What are you watching and why?
I mean, I think you know the answer to this already, Dilly, but it's the Chicago Bears, and it's not even close. I would, if I,
Yeah.
even if I could watch all three games at once, I would willingly turn the other two off and just watch Caleb Williams and the Bears at just 100%. The Chicago Bears ride or die. It's not even close. Only the Bears. I live and die by the Chicago Bears, and they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
They're not going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't know about
Maybe in the
anytime
next 5 years.
soon.
Next 5 years, all right?
Always hopeful.
Hey, to be fair, we just did a podcast with somebody who plays with the Chicago Bears, literally on our last podcast. So
That's sweet.
Former
yeah,
former Tiger,
yeah.
offensive lineman.
Damn.
But yes, I don't know about Chicago. I'll be in Chicago next month though.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Coming at the right time
It's-
when it starts to warm up a little bit. You got to just get on your
how's
bike.
the pizza up there?
It's amazing, man. You got so many great options.
Okay. 'Cause
Don't listen to anything. Just whatever Jay Diller tells you about Chicago, like just disregard it. He knows nothing. He just hates on anything that's not South Carolina.
Give me
Uh,
some like negatives and positives of second screening, in your opinion.
Well, I mean, some positives are like it really, if there are two cool things you want to watch at the same time, like sporting events, you do get to watch them at the same time. So it's like you're getting to take on two high quality forms of like content or things that you enjoy at once, and you can also multitask, whether it's like getting two things done. Like there is a level of productivity to being on a phone that can be beneficial. Like that's undeniable in my opinion. However, just as quickly as you can be productive, within 2 seconds you can shift right onto social media with one swipe and one click. So it's very simple. And I mean the negatives I think greatly outweigh the positives, to be honest, because I don't think our generation has a lot of self control, and it's very
Mm.
easy to and very quick to fall into impulse, whether that's just second nature of going onto social media, and people don't go out of their way to try to limit themselves from that. So I definitely think that the negatives outweigh the positives, and the fact that it can very easily and very quickly knock you off path from quality thought or any type of like deep work that you're in the middle of.
No, 100%, 100%. I agree with that, especially with like, because the new like swiping with TikTok, everybody's just like, I get 15 seconds and then I'm done. I'm not paying attention anymore, and I just feel like that has ruined it a lot. Uh, it's but it's a good strategy for social media because it's making the money. But I mean, at the same time, it's affecting our brains pretty bad, and I'm afraid for my grandchildren one day. Not gonna lie.
Me too, man. Me too. And I fall victim to it as well. I think we all probably do. It's
Oh
just such
yeah,
a big part of our lives at this point, sadly.
yeah.
All right. Well, Dom, we appreciate you having you on. Thank you for doing this for us. It
Of
was
course,
good.
dude. All right. Have a good night,
All
everyone.
right.
Thank you,
See you,
man.
Dom.
Thank
Bye.
you.
That's it for episode 4 and the final episode of Behind the Paw. Thank you guys for listening. Um, we enjoyed making these videos. Have a good one.